while I'm traveling but cannot really go outside because of this beautiful weather, I felt inspired to talk about this important topic as unhealthy fetishes. How to understand that your fetishes are unhealthy. It's quite simple actually, and you would probably know. Yeah, okay. So I will mention 4 signs that your fetishes are unhealthy. Okay, so number 1 is non-consensual behavior, obviously towards others. Yeah, so for example, lots of men, okay, maybe you would say that it's not a lot of men, yeah, but it just from my perspective, because I'm in this world, I see them all the time. So lots of men who live this normal life with their wife, yeah, and they have like a traditionally masculine role, they have a cross-dressing fetish, yeah, for example, and without letting their wife know, because obviously they're not gonna get some like happy reaction, yeah, as they think, and probably they're right about it, they start using her underwear while she is away. And this is such a common thing, unfortunately. So yeah, men do this. As soon as she goes outside, he just takes out her favorite dress, and a set of underwear, a bra, and nice panties, and maybe he will start cleaning the house. But anyway, he will feel more submissive, because obviously, yeah, in order to be more submissive, you have to feminize yourself. No, but anyway, I'm not talking about feminization. I'm talking about non-consensual kind of thing. I remember how 2.5 years ago I came to Turkey, and Turkish men started actively texting me, and when they saw what I do, the content of messages, that was crazy. They were telling me all these crazy stories and sending me pictures, and I had to block them non-stop, because they probably thought that if I'm a dom, yeah, I'm supposed to like a man simply because he does these deranged things, such as taking your mom's socks and shoving them into your mouth and then sending messages. So yeah, like one thing is doing something, taking some clothes of your relatives, of your female relatives, yeah, and like doing something with it. That's I would say, I cannot speak about, for example, if it's a teenager who took like panties of his female relative and just like did it once. It happens so often, and I wouldn't say that it's like unhealthy. It happens, okay? You just have to understand that it's not something that has to continue, and especially when you're a grown man, when you're an adult and you keep doing this, that's gross, okay? But are we here to shame you? I'm not sure. Sometimes it helps, actually. Sometimes it's like a reality slap, okay? So also to non-consensual behavior, I would refer, obviously, slide into DMs of random girls, especially those who don't say that they do any kind of things like that. Yeah, like many years before I started doing femdom and findom, I was receiving messages non-stop from these guys looking for free humiliation service. Another thing is a public fetish. I already made a video about public fetishes. Public exposure. I don't think that it's appropriate. I don't think that it's healthy. And I don't think that this is something that should be normalized, okay? So consent is a big thing, and other people around you did not consent to participate in your fetish. So another sign is lack of control. You start losing control over some other aspects of your life. Yeah, your life gets affected by your kink. For example, your relationship with your family, especially with your spouse, yeah, because so many men live in this constant conflict. Yeah, they have this almost a split personality disorder, and they don't know what to do about it. And once they start, because there is a myth okay, that in order to explore some kind of kinks and fetishes, you're supposed to join this cool club, this cool BDSM club. No, you are not. You still can do this, okay? And I've seen people who actually, I mean, obviously there are different people. Yeah, there are people who are a part of BDSM community and who stay sane and they understand that, well, this is different, right? You can differentiate, okay, this is the scene, these are my kinks, I explore them, but it does not mean that this is a part, the biggest part of my identity, so I have to become this thing. It's when you become so obsessed that you cannot think about anything else. I think the most obvious example I can share is with findom fetish, yeah, when you spend so much money that you cannot afford food. That's extremely unhealthy, and that can be a type of a game, okay? If you're a rich man and you have like lots of savings and you take some amount of money and you want to play this game when you want to be like in danger, okay, because this is what lots of men are looking for, some kind of danger when they engage in this fetish, you just have to understand that it still has to be safe. If you are broke and you spend all your money on findom, that's definitely not healthy, and you probably know about it. Sign number 3, it's emotional distress. Lots of men, and here I'm talking about men mostly, because this is more often about men, that they have paraphilia, yeah, and fetishes that are considered gross in comparison to women. Women don't have it as often as men, okay? So for example, I'm talking about an average submissive man with some like set of fetishes, okay? They don't have to be extreme. Maybe he's just into femdom, maybe he's into gentle femdom, and sometimes they're still in conflict with this part of themselves, and this conflict is actually the basis of being so sexually aroused, because you think that it's this is something forbidden, this is something bad, okay, something you're not supposed to do. That's why it seems so hot. But if you are in constant guilt, in constant shame of what you are and what you do, and I clearly do not think that it's healthy. Even if shame is a big like catalysator for people, especially men, to engage into their fetishes, because this is something that turns them on. Maybe if you reduce shame and guilt, maybe it's not going to be as attractive as before, okay? But when you do something and it brings you a lot of emotional distress, that's clearly unhealthy. And sign number 4 is physical harm, okay? I'm not even going to mention self-harm, okay? Because some subs who are depressed and into self-harm, they might use a session with the dom in order to harm themselves. Yeah, I mean, that's obvious. But let's just speak about masochistic tendencies. Obviously, what we see as pain, yeah, that's a spectrum of your sensations. Yeah, your skin just feels everything. Yeah, and like a gentle touch, or if I squeeze it a little bit, or if I slap it a little bit, it is already like micro pain. If you do it a little bit more, maybe that's pleasant. Yeah, like for some people that might be pleasant, and especially if we take some other parts that I obviously cannot show here as if I wanted to. Yes, of course, this is very normal that pain and pleasure are very connected. Some people need more stimulation, yeah, more physical stimulation in order to receive pleasure, and sometimes it just, what does it mean? Yeah, more physical stimulation. The more intense it is, the more painful it is. Also, why masochists like pain so much? Yeah, because these are chemical reactions. These are chemical reactions, and this is thunder. So why they like it so much, because they get dependent, because that's like a drug. Yeah, but that's natural drug that like your brain does everything for you because it releases endorphins. Okay, so for example, you want to get hurt and your brain releases adrenaline, like no 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 no, don't do this, don't do this, like you have this adrenaline rush. But at the same time, your brain realizes that probably he's not that smart, he's not gonna avoid that. Or maybe he cannot, yeah, maybe he's so tied up that like it's impossible to escape. So, and your brain needs to make sure that you're not gonna die of pain. So after pain, you will get endorphins, like a reward for suffering. Yeah, we can compare it, for example, to going to the gym, or to, I don't know, if you go up to the mountains and when you reach the point, it is also like you suffered to get to the point where you feel happy. And this is what happens to masochists as well. I mean, plus lots of other psychological aspects. But obviously, it can be extremely unhealthy. Yeah, wouldn't want to be there right now. So, there are lots of cases when subs after sessions go to the hospital when something happens to their testicles. I see these posts all the time, you know, like doms bragging about it and also subs bragging about it, but I don't see anything cool about having your testicles smashed so much that they're not gonna work. What if someday you want to have kids? Honestly, any kind of practice can ruin you. If you have addictive personality, if you are not mindful, if you are just not conscious about what you do, it doesn't matter what you do. And share your thoughts in the comments down below if you think that I missed something, if you think that there are some other signs that your fetishes are unhealthy, or if you currently experience something of what I mentioned. And I hope you stay sane. Kneel and pray. Bye bye.